Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got no time for the limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Banged out starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mama about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the traps. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my money in my mind, right? Money on my mind, got my...
What up, what up, what up? We back. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the remix with Cali Dre, man. Cali Dre in the motherfucking building, man. Salute. Appreciate everybody for rocking. Thank y'all for tapping in. You know what I mean? And we're going to do this again, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this again, man. Listen, I wasn't even going to go live tonight, man, but I was inspired. You know what I'm saying? I was inspired by some of the things that, you know, I heard and seen on tonight's panel, man. So I want to run through some videos, man, tonight, man. I'm I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. Like, this one of them nights, man, where if you in it for just pure entertainment value, you probably not even gonna rock with this shit, man. I'm really finna dig deep. I'm really finna try to uncover a few things. I'm really finna challenge people's mental tonight. You know what I'm saying? And it may go over some of you motherfuckers' heads, and I completely understand that. And for those that don't, man, that's gonna rock with it. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all all day, man. You know what I mean? Get the likes up, get the hypes up, get the subscribes up, all that, man. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, everywhere, man. Wherever you want me to be, let me know. I'm gonna pull up over there. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do it. But tonight, man, I ain't even no, you know, entertainment type of energy, man. I told y'all what I want to do. A part of what I want to do with this show is, you know, have fun, run through some crazy ass shit that go on in the world, but also, man, you know, bring some like some information, good information to the discussion and to the forum for people to, you know, tap into. And so that's what we're gonna do tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get too heavy into like news breakdown tonight, because tonight, man, I really wanna touch on a few things on this politics area, and we just gonna go straight into the politics tonight, man. So, you know, if you was tapping in for the news breakdowns and all that shit, man, shit, this might not be your night. I'm gonna be real with you, because I'm kind of feeling I'm on some, you know what I'm saying, some put out good information shit tonight, break down some political shit tonight, and get, you know, and get the people's opinions, man. I want to tap in deep with where the people at, what they feeling in this moment. Black people, for sure, as you see the title of the show. You know what I'm saying? We gonna dig deep, man. We're gonna get philosophical. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get real philosophical tonight. So sit back, man, roll something up, post something up. It's the late night hour, man. I wasn't even gonna go live, but like I said, I was inspired, man, to show some of these videos that I want to show tonight. So if y'all rocking with me, I'm rocking with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, because on tonight's show, man, you know what I'm saying, I really, really want to look at some of the things that this administration is doing. And I want to also talk to black people directly, you know what I'm saying? And you know, all minorities especially, you know what I mean? But black people most definitely, you know what I'm saying? Because we have an interesting moment that's in front of us, I think, right? And I want to try to illustrate that, man. I want to try to illustrate my vision of what I think we can accomplish in this moment if we get our motherfucking act together and get our minds right and get our head in the motherfucking game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna run through some of this. I hope y'all rocking with it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, shit, Read the bottom of the screen, man. Please feel free to hate on me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. After that hate, hit that cash app. Shit, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna get right to it, man. So look, first and foremost, you know how we gotta do it, man. I gotta let my OG, you know what I'm saying, mink coat extraordinaire. You know what I mean? I gotta let him do his 1-2 out here at these ICE protests, man, because this shit's still going on and it's still relevant. And until it ain't relevant no more, man, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I'll probably stop playing this shit. But for now, I'm gonna let OG take the floor, man, and let y'all know how the fuck he feel, man. This the remix with Cali Dre. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, and we finna get right to it, man.
Bunch of bitches.
Right here.
You heard it from me.
White supremacists.
That's right.
Brown people.
I hope you can see through those thick ass glasses that you fucked up. You stand there and sanction this bullshit, and they kill a woman. They're ruining businesses that have been here for generations. They're fucking up this community. You can go home safe, but no, you're here to terrorize this city. A bunch of bitches, if I've ever seen a bunch. And I'm telling you to your face. And if you don't like it, fuck you.
Let's go, man. Hey, listen, that shit, man. That shit gets me fired up every single time I hear that shit, man. OG Vietnam veteran giving ICE a piece of his motherfucking mind, standing on the front line, man. And you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit here. Let me, as a matter of fact, this is what kind of night it is. You know what I'm saying? This is the spirit of a real American right here. This is what's lacking, in my opinion, in this society. A motherfucker who he is. Mink coat on. Vietnam veteran. Telling truth to power, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, one of the artists that I respect very, very highly, I think, you know, one of the top 1 or 2 in the game ever, is Tupac Shakur. And I spoke a little bit about this earlier tonight for those of y'all that was listening to the show. I think when Pac died, man, we lost one of the political voices in hip hop. And if you fast forward to where we at now and you look at, let's say, NBA YoungBoy, let's say, you know, the Nicki Minaj move, that's all in the headlines, right? You know, if you look at Snoop Dogg and some other actors that have taken political stances recently, some of them have flip-flopped on their stances and were, you know, first against this administration, and then they ended up supporting. Some just outright supported it, right? My thing is this. I always ask Black people when I'm on these panels, what has this administration done for you? I always ask the question. Since we've been, you know, doing all this immigration raids and chasing people around, has your money gone up? You know what I'm saying? Has your success gone up? You know what I mean? Has your wages gone up? You tell me. You know what I'm saying? But my answer to that question is hell nah. This shit is harder than it was before. And I got the accomplishments. So at the end of the day, you know, you have to look at strategies, right? Is this strategy working? Is this path that we on the correct path? You know what I'm saying? Is these moves we making, is these the best moves? Or is these just the next moves? You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit of what I'm gonna try to break down tonight, man. But I'm gonna start with this, man. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of this. This is the remix with Cali Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. We just getting started. About to get into some heavy duty political, you know what I'm saying, political debate tonight. But before I start that, I want to talk to
Imagine being able to
black people, man. I want to talk to black people especially, because I think we have something at stake in this moment. And it's just all about how you choose to view it. You know what I mean? And so one of the things that I'm very much interested in is philosophy and strategy and power. You know what I mean? And that's why I focus heavily on politics, because all of those things are encompassed in that arena. And so tonight, man, here's how I feel, right? I feel like, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest about this shit, and it's gonna be unpopular to some people, but I think in this moment, black people, we have to take a hard look at ourselves and ask ourselves, how bad do we want change? You know what I mean? How bad do we want success, prosperity, equal justice, right? And so in this moment, I see chaos amongst many groups of people. And so I look at that, and I can't even remember who said this, but somebody who had a good sense about themselves said, in chaos, man, there's opportunity, right? There's opportunity. And it's just a matter of who's ready to take advantage of the opportunity. And to me, it's a tremendous opportunity for us to, play whichever role, you're comfortable with, right? Some people may be comfortable playing more of a support role. Some people may be comfortable playing more of a frontline role, as you see with the Black Lion movement that's been popping up. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, right? I just feel like, whether you decide to fully support what's going on or not, black people, I think that we have to look at this moment. We have to look at this moment and be smart, man. I'm not 100% sure, and I could be wrong. I could be 100,000% wrong. I'm gonna say that on this right now. I want that on the record, because I'm not a Nostradamus, man. I can't predict the future, but what I can do is just kind of, look at the past, kind of look at what I know about people, and just make a prediction. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, if people are going through, police aggression, right? And I hear people saying, oh, black people have been going through these things for this, many years, and nobody's ever said anything, and nobody's ever, came to our rescue, which is not entirely true. I mean, I would love for more people to have come and supported the movement the whole way, but there have been times where we've gotten tremendous support, and there's been times when it's been silence. I'll be honest with you on that too, and it's probably been more times when it's been silence. But my point is this, man, it's just like, we gotta learn how to capitalize on the moment. We got to learn how to get our shit together, have a plan, have a strategy, and then be ready to capitalize on the moments that present themselves. Because I think this is a moment where we can shine. And I think this is a moment where we can, lead in a lot of ways. And build, you know what I mean? Build coalitions and relationships. A lot of people always point to the civil rights movement, but they failed to realize just the pure optics of the civil rights movement, which was, black people most definitely took the lion's share of the backlash and the abuse and the punishment. But there were many different nationalities, supporting along the way. And the same with, it's the end of slavery, right? We spoke on Just Say No to Skull show. You know what I mean? Salute to Skull, man. Make sure y'all support his channel. You know what I mean? But we did a deep dive on his show, on his panel, and we discovered there was a small underground railroad from Texas to Mexico, and Mexico, stood tall for our ancestors in the moment when they needed it the most. And so me knowing history like I know history, man, and me just, loving my black people the way I love black people and wanting to see them succeed and wanting to see them, get to the top of the mountain, man. I think, man, we just got to make the right moves in the right moments. And this moment may be one of those moments. I don't know, but it just kind of feels like it to me because, there's a lot of chaos. There's one person causing the chaos, and that one person causing that chaos is doing it for a reason. It's so that they can, further their agenda. But, I'm trying to break through that wall and further our agenda. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna get into some deep shit tonight, man. And shit. Hopefully people rocking with me, man. But this the remix with Kelly Dre. So we're gonna get right to it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get right to it, man. Let me see. I want to do that. Let's add that. No, that's not it. That's not what I want. That's what I want right there. Let's remove that from the stage. All right. So we're gonna get deep, man. We finna get into some philosophical shit real quick, man. This is the 21 Principles of the Art of War by Sun Tzu, who a long time ago figured out how to defeat shit. Let's go, man. This it's a little man, the music in it is a little bit, you know what I'm saying, on some ancient, Eastern Asian type stuff, man. So I'm gonna just throw that out there right now. But hopefully y'all can kind of get past that a little bit and listen to the message, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what this whole shit's all about. Get the likes up, man. But I just want to talk about something.
The Art of War is a guide written by Sun Tzu, a master strategist and philosopher who walked the path of wisdom during China's warring states period. His teachings arose not merely from the need to triumph in battle, but from an understanding that true mastery lies in outmaneuvering conflict altogether. Sun Tzu was not merely a general, he was a student of human nature. Through his writings, Sun Tzu offered more than strategies for warfare. He revealed principles for navigating the complexities of life itself. The Art of War is not a book confined to soldiers and battlefields,
but
is applicable to all arenas of human endeavor. The lesson speaking to those who seek to overcome obstacles, achieve their goals, and live with purpose.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it right there, man. So this teaching has been passed around the globe many generations over. And I think that black people in America, man, here's my perspective on black people in America, right? We have through the years had to formulate our own identity here in America because our culture has been, destroyed and separated and in a lot of ways broken. And so I think that in that we've had to gain strength, right? But we've had to gain like tribal strength. You know what I mean? This section over here is strong, and this section over here is strong, and this section over here is strong, right? But what I learned from the civil rights movement is that true unity, man, is strength. And that holds true today with your vote and with your dollar. And so I just think, man, again, we think about things sometimes in a very in the moment, type of way. How is this gonna affect me today? You know what I mean? But that's not kind of the purpose of what I'm looking at tonight, man. I'm kind of looking big picture, man. I'm kind of looking strategy. I'm looking at how can we actually win this war that we've been fighting. And so hopefully, watching this video can give us some strategies and some tools that we can use in the next, time we have to really make the decision to choose a side and live with the direction that choice presents.
These are the 21 principles of the art of war.
This is not one of the principles right here. Get the likes up. This the remix with Cali Dre, man. Let's go.
Number 1. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles. To know yourself is to grasp the limits of your strength, the depth of your weaknesses, and the essence of your potential. Without this understanding, your plans falter, for you cannot act with the confidence or adapt to challenges. To know your enemy is to unveil their intentions, strengths, and vulnerabilities.
So know yourself and know your enemy. And you need not fear the result of 100 battles. I think that's some deep shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of truth in that, right? I think that, again, we as Black people, since our culture has been, spread out, the people on the East Coast are doing something different than the South is doing something different than the West Coast, and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. And at a large level, I don't think that we connect, right? And a large part of that to me is because, and I think, one of the comedians hit on this. I think it was Mike Epps, man. I want to make sure I give the right person that credit. But basically, we are, every other race here pretty much can go back to their own country, right? But we come from a continent of many countries and many dialects and many tribes. And so tracing that lineage often becomes difficult for most people. Some people have success if their family history and lineage is well kept together. Others not so much. So my thing is, like, we gotta come together with strategies, and we gotta know ourselves and what we capable of, right? And what we can do. And if we come together truly, like, there's no stopping us, man. We not losing 100 battles. But I think so many of us are divided about so many different things, and a lot of us are hurting. A lot of us been through so much stuff and got our guards up and feel like we can't trust nobody and been done wrong by this person and been through that with this person and shit. I've been through it all too. Please believe, you feel me? If I told y'all some of the shit I've been through, y'all, it's time to get the blick. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't even really on that at this point, man. I'm just on success, right? That's what I'm trying to have for my people, man. Us to get to the next level. I feel like we've been stuck on this level. It's like when you playing video games and shit, and you've been stuck on that one level. You've been stuck on that motherfucker forever. You can't beat that shit. You gotta have your little nephew beat that shit for you. That's kind of how I feel, man. It's just like, we kind of stuck at this level. You know what I mean? And we talk a lot about coming together, but I don't see us doing it at a large level on things that matter, right? We can come together and throw a great party and have fun and do that kind of shit. But coming together to figure out strategies how we can win the game, I don't see a lot of that, man. And so again, man, that's why I had a lot of respect for Pac, because not only did he have the knowledge, but he had the heart to get out in the streets and let people know that knowledge and let people know, like, hey, one of the most profound things that Tupac Shakur has ever said that just stuck with me. And he was talking about the White House, and he was saying how the White House has all these rooms, yet there's homeless people on the street. And it just, it made a lot of sense, especially from a young man who was, you know, as young as he was at that time when he made that statement. And so, you know, it's some things, man, just make sense, man. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And I feel a lot of wrongs going on in this moment, man. And that's part of the reason why I launched this channel, man, was just, you know, definitely to have fun and to look at whatever's going on in the world. But also, man, I want to be able to provide people with good information to make them think a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And to enhance the flow of information. And so that's what we're gonna do, man. You know what I'm saying? But I want to continue with this. This the remix with Kelly Dre, man. We breaking down this art of war a little bit and trying to see how it relates to the moment of today.
Ensuring their moves cannot surprise you. Balance both insights, and you hold the key to mastering every situation. For no battle is ever lost when both your heart and your opponents are laid bare. Number 2. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. The most elegant solutions avoid unnecessary confrontation. Winning a conflict without direct confrontation is the pinnacle of skill.
Now, hey, that's a great point. You know what I mean? If we can somehow win this war without conflict, hey, that's all the better. But in order to do that, that takes strategy, that takes planning, that takes a level of unity and show of force that everybody is going along with the same plan. And again, y'all let me know if you see that when within our community.
Persuasion, strategy, and understanding often triumph where brute force fails. Seek resolution that spares energy, resources, and relationships. Number 3, opportunities multiply as they are seized. Every step forward creates a pathway for future growth. Taking action generates momentum, opening doors you never knew existed. Hesitation, on the other hand, allows opportunities to wither and vanish. Embrace action to cultivate a fertile ground for future success.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right there. You feel me? Listen, opportunities multiply as they are seized. And hesitation that'll make you fall out of the game. And so that's how I look at shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely have to know the moment, be ready for the moment, and seize the moment when it arises. I feel like this could be one of those moments, just because of the overwhelming brutality and lack of respect for the everyday person out there. You know what I mean? So everybody's feeling, you know, I ain't gonna say everybody because there's actually people who are in support of this. TikTok MAGA Mongrels. I was on you motherfuckers today. You know what I'm saying? I ain't forgot about y'all primarily. I'm gonna get to y'all later. But you know, this could be one of them opportunities, man. And that's why I'm always looking big picture. I listen. I know Black history as well as, you know, the next person does, right? I grew up in this. I had, I'll say, 2 grandparents, 2 grandmothers that made it to over 100 years old and lived to tell me the history from 100 years ago, right? And the history that they got from they parents 60 or 70 years ago before that. You know what I mean? And so I'm well versed in this shit from a standpoint of, you know, familial knowledge, but also book knowledge as well. You know what I'm saying? And I just think, like I said, you know, we may not want to sleep on this moment. We may want to act on this moment because opportunities multiply as they are seized.
Number 4. All warfare is based on deception. Life often requires presenting things differently than they appear, whether in negotiations or everyday challenges. Showing your hand too soon can lead to failure. Control the narrative and use strategy to stay one step ahead. Truth, when paired with discretion, is a powerful weapon.
Yeah, most definitely.
Looking to
man.
build a chat bot for your
Most hell no, I want to build no chat bot, man. Get the hell out of there. Check this out, man. All warfare is most definitely based on deception. And here's the opportunity that I see in this moment, right? The opportunity that I see in this moment is the opportunity for the Black community to build relationships and to, you know, play whatever type of role. I'm not suggesting everybody run to the front line of any of this conflict or any conflict per se, you know, unless it's the one conflict. But I just feel like supporting, you know, understanding and being empathetic, making sure that we are keeping our eyes open and you know, I think that we can, you know, strategically create, you know, something that's gonna make the opposition stumble. You know what I mean? True unity, man. You know what I'm saying? There's the Million Man March was powerful because it was a million people on the same page. The March on Washington was powerful because it was a million people on the same page. And so when you have that, you can bring truth to any power. You know what I mean? But if you fall for the deception, which I feel like a lot of right-leaning people have in this moment, when you fall for the deception, man, you just allow yourself to be played. So all warfare is based on deception. And that's not I look at that as well to say a leader will deceive his people if he feels that it's in warfare in his best interest to maintain the authority that he has. And so again, these are all just kind of esoteric, like, you know, ideologies and psychological thought, but I think it's relevant in sharpening your tools for the moment when it arises, man. It's the remix with Cali Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me.
In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. When everything seems uncertain, the clever find hidden advantages. Moments of disruption create space for creativity and bold decisions. Fear blinds many, but clarity in chaos leads to breakthroughs.
Man.
Stay calm and let chaos be the forge of your greatest achievements to come.
Man, that's some deep shit right there, man. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. I think I spoke on that earlier, so maybe that was Sun Tzu who said that in The Art of War. You know what I mean? But in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. I think that principle is very relevant to right now today, man, and what we're looking at, because I see an opportunity for Black people to, again, to build coalitions, to build networks that, you know, we can leverage and then we can use to take the next step to advance, you know, our rights and our liberties, and, you know, get people on the same page to see that, you know, hey, this is something that we've been experiencing for generations, you know, and it shouldn't happen to anybody. So what are we going to do about it? Right. That's how I look at stuff sometimes, man. You know, I'm not always a person that like take my ball and go home or not want to try to work out solutions and try to get involved with shit because at the end of the day, man, I just feel like inactivity doesn't get you anywhere. Pick a side. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a pick a side type of person because again, inactivity, man, sitting in neutral. Think about when you in your car, right? And so I try to like summarize this shit. Think about when you in your car, right? It's a forward, it's a backward, it's a neutral. When you sitting in neutral, you ain't doing nothing. You just sitting there wasting gas, wasting maintenance on your on your whip. So I just like see this opportunity, man. It's a lot of chaos, but there's also opportunity, man.
Number 6. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Picking your battles wisely ensures your strength is not wasted.
Yeah.
Not every conflict deserves your time and energy, so discernment is essential. Wisdom lies in retreating when necessary and engaging only when it matters most. Reserve your strength for battles that truly define your path.
Yeah. That's a fact, man. I mean, knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And that's kind of, the open question right now of the day, man, for Black people. Is this the moment where we should get involved? Or is this the moment where, we should, play the sideline? Get the likes up, man. Let's go.
Number 7. Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. March swiftly to places where you are not expected. The element of surprise is your ally. Keep your intentions flexible and unpredictable, avoiding patterns that can be anticipated. Strike where resistance is weakest and opportunity is greatest.
Yeah. Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. March swiftly to places where you are not expected. I think rule number 7 right here is the strategy that I think could be very successful in this moment. I think instead of throwing our hands up and not getting involved and just letting things happen as they are, I think appearing at points at which the opposition must hasten to defend is building the relationships. I think that's really getting out there and saying, nah, we got strength in numbers. You know what I mean? All our numbers together is unstoppable. Everybody's, we've been going through it. Y'all going through it now. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know what I mean? Which comes from I thought it came from Sun Tzu. Actually, that actually comes from a 4th century treaty or something like that I was reading up on yesterday. But hey, I'll break that down in another video, man. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, that's kind of how I look at shit. March swiftly to places where you are not expected. Again, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Success often comes from going where others cannot follow.
California. Want a free iPhone 11? Yes.
Get the likes
free
up. This is
for
the remix
eligible
with Cali J, man.
Californians on
Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We're just vibing out tonight, man. I'm also philosophical.
Number 8. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Neglect wears down even the strongest foundation.
Yes, a fact.
Number 9.
The next one.
Do not repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, but let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety of circumstances.
Yeah, I think that's important, man. We cannot always look to the past to solve the problems of today. Sometimes we need to formulate some new solutions to new problems. I 100% agree with that.
Life is ever changing, and what worked yesterday may fail tomorrow. Adapting to new circumstances ensures lasting success. Stubbornness leads to stagnation, but flexibility breeds innovation. Be ever willing to reinvent yourself and your methods.
Yeah, that's a fact. Listen, you got to keep this shit unpredictable, man. You know what I mean? If you play the predictable role, you're gonna get the predictable results, man. You know what I'm saying? Big people who take risks, you know, they get big rewards.
Number 10. A leader leads by example, not by force.
Let's go. Let's go.
True leadership inspires others through action, not coercion. People follow those who embody the qualities they admire. Demonstrate integrity, commitment, and vision, and others will naturally align with your purpose. Lead from the front and let your deeds speak louder than your words.
Listen, man. I think that shit just spoke for itself, bro. I mean, that shit spoke for it. That shit hit me like deep. You know what I mean? A leader leads by example, not by force. I think that's a direct, I think that's a direct look at what's going on today, right? We have a leader who his main objective is to project strength, right? It doesn't mean he's really strong. He just wants to look strong. But a true leader leads by example and not by force. And I 100% agree with that, man. And right now, we have a leader that's trying to lead by force. ICE agents in the street, immigration agents in the street, shooting American citizens, detaining people that don't have criminal records. And I want to ask, is any of this bringing down your grocery prices? Is any of this bringing down your child care costs, your health care costs? Is any of this putting more money in your pocket? So I'm not just one to follow a leader blindly, man. Like I have my own brain. You know what I mean? I have my own mind. I have my own thoughts. And so, and I've had good leaders. I've seen good leaders. Been around good leaders. And a leader leads by example. That's a fact. Not by force.
Number 11. Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. It settles.
Yeah, I like that.
Number 12. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move.
Most definitely.
Number
We're gonna run through
13.
some of these.
Those skilled in war bring the enemy to the field of battle and are not brought there by him.
That's
Controlling the environment ensures you hold the upper hand. Set the terms of engagement and
Most definitely.
dictate where and how challenges are faced. By choosing the battlefield, you gain a natural advantage. Never allow others to dictate the conditions of your success.
Whew. Man, you might as well drop the mic on that shit right there, bro. Those skilled in war bring the enemy to the battlefield that they choose and are not brought to a battlefield that they didn't choose. You know what I mean? And I think that this moment again presents an opportunity to bring the opposition to a battlefield that we choose, that's already fired up, that's already foaming at the mouth, that's already hitting the streets. We don't gotta infuse that. We're usually black people, African American people, however you identify yourself. We are usually on the receiving end of this treatment. And so we are usually the ones that have to be the catalyst for the outrage and the protests and the demand for justice. Right? But shit, that's already going on. That shit already going on now. And so again, I look at this moment and I say, those who are skilled in war bring the enemy to a battlefield that they choose, and are not brought to a battlefield that is chosen by the ops. Yeah, let that sink in, man.
Number 14. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom your real intent. Mystery is a powerful defense and offense. When others cannot predict your moves, they are left vulnerable. Confusion forces them into a reactive state, giving you control over the situation.
Yeah, most definitely, man. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so they don't know what your real intent is, man. I think that's op strategy 101. You feel me? Let's get to the next one. Let's see what the next principle holds for us. This is the remix with Cali Dre. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I'm on some philosophical shit tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing no news. I ain't doing no entertainment. You know what I'm saying? We in here trying to kick straight game and figure out how we can sharpen the swords to win the wars and be victorious in the battles, man.
Number 15. He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. Every decision has a price, and you must weigh it carefully. Rushing into action without assessing the consequences leads to regret. The cost of conflict is not just material, but emotional and relational. Only engage when you are certain the outcome justifies the expense.
Yeah, I think doing a cost benefit, we in the finance world, we call that a cost benefit analysis. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that the cost justifies the benefit. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's most definite. You know what I mean? That's off top. That's off top. What's next, man? What we got next? Sun Tzu out here kicking this motherfucking game tonight. This the remix with Cali Dre, man. I'm on some philosophical, psychological type shit, man. Trying to build the strategies and to win the war, man. You know what I'm saying?
Number 16. When strong, appear weak. When weak, appear strong. Perceptions can be manipulated to your advantage.
That's a fact.
Feigning strength deters challengers, while feigning weakness lures overconfidence in opponents. Use appearances to misdirect and gain the upper hand.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Hey, listen, we on some philosophical shit tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm trying to win. I want you to win. I want us all to win. And here's what I know, right? Here's what I know for a fact. There's enough resources in here for us all to win. And it's not a zero-sum game. A zero-sum game means if I win, you lose. If you win, I lose. And that's the narrative that's being played out there. But that narrative is not true. Not true by the ton, because there is more than enough resources for everybody in this country, according to Andrew Yang's campaign when he ran a few years back, for every American to get $2,000 a month. And that was just a fraction of 1% of the overall GDP. And so again, I try to put these things in perspective for people, man, because sometimes, you know, these things can get very in the clouds and go over people's heads. But that's a part of the reason why I created this platform, man. Again, it was to have fun and break down, you know, whatever the craziest shit is going on that I can find in the world, but also to provide people with good information and to develop strategies and to build networking and a whole bunch of other shit that I plan on doing with this channel, you know, as it grows. And so this is just one brick in that overall, you know, I ain't gonna even say wall, that overall house that I'm trying to build. I ain't building no motherfucking walls. Well, fuck that. It's the remix with Kelly Dre, man. Let's go.
Truth is powerful when revealed at the right time. Number 17. Victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay its price.
There we go. There we go.
Great accomplishments require sacrifice and effort.
Yeah, we only got
You must be prepared to invest your time, energy, and focus to achieve success.
Yeah, I only got a few more of these, man. It's like probably 4 more, you know what I mean? But y'all let me know in the comments, man, and what y'all think about this. You know what I mean? I'm really on some different shit tonight. You know what I mean? I'm very much, you know, very much tired of seeing the shit that I see. And so, you know, I'm gonna do my part to try to educate my people. Whether they listen or not, that's on them. But I'm gonna do my motherfucking part for sure.
Half-hearted attempts lead to mediocrity, but dedication leads to triumph. Commit fully, knowing the rewards are worth the struggle.
Most definitely, man. Victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay its price. Are you willing to pay the price to win? Are you willing to pay the price for that victory that you see in your head, man? Because I am. And that's why I stand on what I stand on. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you motherfuckers today. Showing my face. I popped out for over 1.5 years. I never showed my face. And that was by design because I wasn't really on no clout shit. I just had kind of stumbled into this social media, YouTube shit, getting pissed off at motherfuckers giving out bad information and saying a bunch of dumbass, goofy ass, you know, bullshit that's agenda driven. And I know what that agenda is, and it's not good for my people. In the long run, in the short run. But y'all let me know. I mean, what has this current administration done for you? Let me know in the comments. You know what I mean? But I'm just vibing out on some philosophical shit tonight, man. I'm gonna get into a little bit of politics, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. This is the remix of Kelly Dre. I got like probably 3 or 4 more of these, but you know, I'm trying to help my people develop the strategies to win, man.
Number 18. If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death.
Yeah, most definitely.
Swift action.
Swift action. You know what I mean? When the moment calls, you got to be swift in action, man. You can't be fucking around. Let's get to this next one.
Number 19. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's after the victory. We ain't there yet, so that one is not applicable. What's the next one?
Action. Number 20. Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow. Decision to the releasing of a trigger. Preparation builds potential, but action unleashes power. Gather your strength and focus your energy, but do not delay in striking when the moment comes.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact right there. And that's that rule number 20 right here, Sun Tzu. You know what I'm saying? This might be the reason I decided to throw this shit up here tonight, man, because honestly, God, I was gonna crash out, man. I wasn't even gonna wasn't even gonna turn the camera on, man. You feel me? But you know, again, I'm just driven to try to provide tools that, you know, you can use, news that you can use, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I should have named this shit tonight. News that you can motherfucking use, man. Let's go.
A plan without execution is merely an idea, but decisive action turns it into reality. Align preparation with timely decision-making for success.
Yeah, most definitely.
Number 21. The
Yes,
clever
last one.
combatant imposes his will on the enemy, but does not allow the enemy's will to be imposed on him.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Get yours off, and before they get theirs off. I think that, you know what I mean? I think that sums that shit up right there, man. This the remix with Kelly Drake, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Subscribe to the channels. You know, every night, man, I'm gonna be on some different shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just started this channel, so I'm still kind of finding my way through this whole shit. You know what I mean? But you know, I definitely enjoy just finding good stories and interesting, you know, things that's going on around the world. But I'm also into some analytical, political, psychological, you know what I mean, type shit. And so that's where we at tonight. Yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. So, subscribe to the channels, man. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, speaking of TikTok, you MAGA fucking mongrels. Yeah. It's your time. TikTok MAGA mongrels, step to the forefront because it's your motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? We finna get in. What I'm looking like on time. Oh, yeah. We good, man. I didn't want to be here too long, man. I'm gonna run a little bit more. And I'm gonna dip. But
Maintain.
this right here, you know what I mean? This is the type of shit, man, that I'm gonna do more of. You know what I mean? I don't even trip off what the views look like on this shit because people that want good information is always gonna tap into good information, man. And people that don't, they're not. But for me, man, I just want to provide strategies and tools that people can use. You know what I'm saying? To get over these blues. You feel me? So let's go here, man. I think we finna turn into a little bit of politics, man. I'm finna get a little political. So after we watch that video, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Sun Tzu, powerful, you know what I mean? Powerful dude, deep dude. I think he, you know, summed up the strategies of war pretty effectively. You know what I mean? And now I want to get into this, man, because there's always a lot of back and forth on, you know, what Donald Trump's accomplishments are and what he's done and what he hasn't done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I like clarity, man. I like facts. I like to be factual with the shit that I talk about. And so one of the reasons why I do not have any faith in the current administration is because of lessons learned from the past. And your resume can definitely, you know, be an insight on how the fuck you are as an employee. And I'm a firm believer of that, man. I think, you know, the past can provide you clues on a lot of different situations. Is it always correct? Nah, but it can give you some indicators and some red flags and some things to look at on, you know, on behavior and you know, on performance and on, you know, on strategy and on the ability to just get the damn job done. And that's kind of what I'm about to tap into tonight, because I showed a video yesterday about the Trump administration illegally pocketing about $1.4 billion, I'm sorry, billion with a B, since Donald Trump's election a year ago. And in that same time period, actually, in his first term, it took him a whole 4 years to illegally pocket $1.9 billion. So think about that. First term, 4 years, $1.9 billion illegally pocketed. Second term, 12 months, $1.4 billion pocketed illegally. And so we're gonna dive into some of this shit tonight, man. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, man. We're gonna start with the story. You know what I'm saying? Of why I just don't trust this motherfucker. Get the lights up, man. This is the remix with Kelly Drake, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. This is a good breakdown. 10 failed Donald Trump business ventures. Let's dig into this a little bit, man.
epic 10 list.
Here are 10 failed Donald Trump ventures. Number 10, Trump, the game. Trump had a board game which one could compare to Monopoly. This game was released to the public in 1989 and was discontinued later that year. Number 9, Trump Airlines. In the late 80s, Donald spent $365 million to purchase an airline called Eastern Air Shuttle. Under Donald's ownership, the company never made a profit and ceased to exist come 1992. Number 8, Trump Mortgage. The worst business idea anyone could make would be to start a mortgage business in 2006. Well, Donald did just that, and the business closed well before its 2-year anniversary. Number 7, Trump Vodka. Believe it or not, Donald Trump tried to get into the vodka business. This new line of vodka was released to the public in 2006, and production ended in 2011 because no one wanted to drink vodka while thinking of the Donald. Maybe he should have called it a
Get the likes up. It's the remix with Cali Dre, man. Let's go.
Ivanka? Just an idea. Number 6, GoTrump.com. Think of Priceline, but instead of William Shatner being the spokesman, Donald Trump was the pitchman for GoTrump.com. Apparently, people have more faith in Captain Kirk than they do the Donald, so GoTrump.com was quickly shut down. Number 5, Trump University. In 2005.
Oh, yeah, this is the one. Trump University. To all you TikTok MAGA mongrels, go look up Trump University and all the people that got scammed out that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm on y'all ass tonight, man. Let's go.
Trump opened the non-accredited for-profit Trump University. A few years later, the university was sued by several students, and shortly thereafter, the New York Attorney General sued Trump for over $40 million. Number 4, Trump Steaks. Nothing makes me want a delicious steak more than Donald Trump and Sharper Image. It's this line of thinking that caused the disaster, which was Trump Steaks. As if the university, the vodka, and the board game weren't enough, Trump Steaks was a massive failure. Number 3, Trump Casinos. The company which owned 3 Trump casinos and which Donald owned 28% stock in, filed bankruptcy for the 4th time in 2014. Number 2, Trump Magazine. Trump Magazine printed
Bankruptcy for the 4th time. Let's run back number 3. I think number 3 should have been number 1. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, right? This is Trump Plaza, which I think they still have naming rights to, but I don't know if it's operational. Who knows? I think it is though. But Taj Mahal, this is where I want to go, right? Bankrupt 4 times. If you read this, it says Trump on the top, and it says Taj Mahal. Under here, if I can get rid of this closed caption, it says Casino Resort. The question I've always asked when it came to Donald Trump, one of the many questions that I've always asked when it came to Donald Trump, is how in the fuck do you bankrupt a casino? Not once. No. Not twice. Not even 3 times. But 4 fucking times. The house always wins. I don't know if y'all have ever been to a casino. They may trick y'all a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? They may trick you a little couple dollars here and there. You know what I mean? But overall, the house is going to win 70, 80% of the time. And so, me knowing that, I mean, actually, matter of fact, nah. We ain't gonna even do no whataboutism tonight. I'm gonna actually look this shit up. Get the likes up. This the remix with Cali Dre, man. I'm just trying to uncover some of these truths. How many times does the house win in casinos? Simple question. See if we can get a simple answer. And let's put in America. Just put in America. Yeah. In casinos, house always wins due to a built-in advantage known as the house's edge. Right. Okay. So this is a casino. The house always wins because of the inside fucking edge. And yet Donald Trump managed to bankrupt a casino 4 times. That's why I don't trust this man with the economy. I'm just throwing that out there.
Number 2, Trump
Among other fucking reasons.
Magazine. Trump Magazine printed its first edition in 2007 and printed its last edition a year and a half later.
Number 1, human decency. There is a reason to believe Donald Trump fails at having even basic levels of human decency. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. So there's a quick list of Donald Trump's failed business ventures. And this is why I don't trust this man with the economy, among other reasons, right? The corruption, aligning itself with dictators, that strange relationship with Vladimir Putin, to where every time he meets with Putin, no Americans are allowed in the room while they're having 2-hour meetings. Yeah, that stuck out from the first administration. I still want to know what the fuck was Donald Trump talking about for 2.5 hours with Vladimir Putin, with no American spokespeople in the room, but there were Russian spokespeople in the room. Go read the Mueller report, man. Like, you can't make this shit up. And that's where we at, man. And it's a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors, man. It's a whole bunch of people that are bowing at the feet of this man because they think he's some celebrity, or they just don't, you know, they're in it for their own selfish reasons, whether it be white nationalism or, you know, some off brand of Christianity that they are extremist at, you know, trying to practice and force others to practice. But that's another question I have, right? All these religious groups that support this administration. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? And people who equate this administration and its leader to God or all that, I cut that shit out, man. Ain't nothing holy about this man. Ain't nothing holy about this administration. This administration in November went to the Supreme Court of this nation and fought to try to prevent poor people from getting their getting their money during the holidays to help them with food. Hey, that ain't godly, bruh. So I don't ever want to hear nobody talking about God when it comes to this administration. It is documented. He was fighting in the Supreme Court to prevent poor people from getting benefits. So that don't sound godly to me at all, man. But this is the remix with Kelly Drake, man. I'm also philosophical, political, psychological shit tonight, man. I ain't doing no entertainment. I ain't here to entertain motherfuckers tonight. I'm just speaking truth to power. And I'm chopping it up with my people, and I'm trying to develop strategies to win. And if you ain't with that shit, security will escort your ass up out of here. But for those that are, you know what I mean? We're going to keep rocking. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple more things I want to show before I get up out of here, man. What we got going on here? So I want to talk about some optics real quick, right? Because, and I'm going to get to this other video. Actually, before I get to the optics, let's look at this video right here, man. Let's check this out, because I found this to be very interesting. So I did a show.
Heard of blind spot?
Man, don't be talking while I'm talking, woman. But I did a video a couple days ago, man. Maybe it was yesterday, and it was breaking down this administration and how its leader has pocketed over $1.4 billion in just 12 months. And I was like, damn. But then I thought about all the fucking scams and grifts that he ran in his first administration. And that just prompted me to want to go and find out how much did he hustle us out of the first go around. So let's check in with that, man. How Trump's business has generated $1.9 billion in revenue during his first presidency. It's the remix.
When Donald Trump became president, it was already an unusual moment because we had a billionaire who was coming into office. Then when he decided to carry his whole business with him into the White House, it was the first time that we had this experiment, and no one knew what was going to happen. You know, what happens when you take $1 billion business and you bring it into the White House.
So somebody said, why did you appoint a rich person to be in charge of the economy?
And what happens when you take the White House and the presidency and politics and impose it upon $1 billion business? And what we've seen in the last few years is the results of that experiment coming in on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. From the start of 2017 through all of 2018 to the end of 2019, if you add all of Trump's revenue, that adds up to $1.9 billion. 3 years, $1.9 billion. Now, revenue means all of the money that's coming into your business. So everything that people are paying. This is not necessarily money that's landing in Donald Trump's pocket, because remember, there's a lot of expenses that he has to pay. So if you break down the 1.9 billion and you say, all right, let's look at Trump's business. Now, he owns a lot of different assets. Okay,
1.9 billion generated. Figuring out how much he actually pocketed may be a little tough to do, because he's right. It's a global business with expenses, but 1.9 billion generated during your presidency is illegal, according to the emoluments clause. I went through that a couple of days ago as well. The emoluments clause is a clause that basically, man, you know what? We about facts tonight, man. I'm gonna read this shit to y'all, just so y'all know I'm not fucking around. This is what I want y'all to do. Y'all think I'm full of shit? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments, man. TikTok, MAGA mongrels. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm fucking with y'all all day. Y'all, listen, bro. Yeah, y'all got that initial smoke. But when I hit y'all with that fire, y'all ass disappear. You know what I mean? So I'm about facts tonight, man. I'm about facts tonight. I'm not fucking around. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not fucking around. For those of y'all that thought I was, stay tuned. You feel me? But I want to look at this real quick. Man. I want to actually, this is whack. Oh my, Bing. Listen, bro, y'all be on some bullshit. Give me some Google shit. I need that Google information. All that. Get the likes up in the meantime. You know what I mean? This the remix with Kelly Drake, man. I'm on some politics, philosophical shit tonight. I'm gonna break down some shit. Let y'all see what I see. But let's look at this, man. Let's look at this. I think I gotta pull that down. Hold that. Let's remove that. And then let's add that. You feel me? And let's do that. Oh shit. I don't fuck some shit out. Hold up. I might need an engineer in this motherfucker, man. I'm gonna keep it real. I want y'all to see this. Oh, there we go. Let me know if y'all can see this. Let me know if y'all can see this, man. All right, so this is the emoluments clause right here, right? I went through this yesterday. I'm gonna read it briefly. Basically, the emoluments clauses are U.S. constitutional provisions designed to prevent corruption and foreign influence by limiting government officials from accepting gifts, titles, or financial benefits from foreign or domestic governments. Now, the part of this that I think is very, very, very interesting is the domestic emoluments clause here. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 7 specifically limits the president, stating they cannot receive any emolument, benefit, or profit from the United States or any state beyond their set compensation, ensuring independence from Congress. The purpose, the framers designed these clauses to prevent foreign contributions, bribery, and undue influence on American officials. So we have a president that recently got a plane. And he says he's going to keep it and he's going to take it after he leaves office and all this, right? That plane's being stored somewhere. I think Cash Bags brought that up. How much it costs? Salute to Cash Bags as well, man. You've been rocking with the channel. I appreciate you, fam. But Cash Bags brought up how much it costs to store a plane, bro. That ain't cheap and that ain't free. And so that expense is the taxpayer's responsibility, right? He's the president. We paying for that shit. The plane itself, right? A plane from a foreign entity. You're not even supposed to accept those kind of gifts, let alone hold it until you're out of office. And so these are some of the things that when I'm hearing some of this news and I'm looking at some of this shit and with the laws and the shit that I know, hey, all this shit is fraudulent. This is a scam. This is one of the biggest scams in the history of this country. And we've had a lot of fucking scams in this country, bro. You know what I'm saying? But this MAGA shit is at the top of that list. Because the people who are supporting this, by and large, are not receiving the benefit. I asked the question. Listen, here's the last couple of shows, last couple of panels, man. I've been asking the question of, has your money gone up? Has your wages gone up? We've been chasing around immigrants for 12 months. That was supposed to solve all the problems. Trickle down economics was supposed to be in full effect. Has your money gone up? Let me know in the comments. I'm still asking. All right? I'm still asking that question. So when I asked on a panel of 10 people, only one person said that they had actually gotten a better job or their money had went up. 1 out of 10. When I asked on the panel tonight, what has this administration done for you? I went and double back and watched the end of the show. And a lot of people said not a goddamn thing. And so, I mean, I'm just trying to do the math for you so you could do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's really the purpose of this whole shit. What I try to do and provide good information for the people, man. You know what I mean? But you know, we got to start really paying attention to what's right in our face, man. All this chaos, controversy, all this is designed. It's by design. It's so that a president who stole $1.9 billion in his first 4 years could steal $1.4 billion in his first 12 months in this term. Get the likes up, man. I'm working hard out here, man. Get the fucking likes up for your boy, man. It's the remix with Kelly Dre, man. Let's go. Maybe we're not going. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe we're not going.
We're talking about
there we
more
go.
than a dozen golf properties. He owns a bunch of commercial real estate buildings in New York City. He owns hotels. So you sort of have to put them in segments. And the first segment that you can look at is sort of the golf courses and clubs. So this is Mar-a-Lago, Doral. He's got 3 properties over in Europe and a bunch of golf courses in the United States. If you add all of that revenue up over 3 years, that's about $753 million. So a ton of money coming in through the golf businesses and the club business. The next biggest segment is the commercial real estate. So this is, you know, the retail space in Trump Tower, the office space in 1290 Avenue of the Americas, the office space in 555 California Street. Most of his commercial real estate is still in New York City, but there are some exceptions. The biggest one, of course, is he owns a 30% stake in 555 California Street in San Francisco. You never hear about this asset, but believe it or not, it's the most valuable asset in his entire portfolio. It just doesn't have his name on it, and so people don't talk about it a lot. Then the next thing is if you look at sort of the licensing and management and the hotels businesses. So these are different businesses. This could be Trump lending his name to somebody who wants to build a tower in Turkey. It could be Trump lending his name to somebody who wants to sell mattresses. It could also be Trump running a hotel in Washington, D.C., or running a hotel condo complex in Las Vegas. If you sort of mesh all that together, the licensing and the hotel businesses, and the reason that you mesh them together is because a lot of the licensing is in hotels. So you put that whole segment together, that's about $411 million.
So Trump in licensing about 411 mil while he's president, which if you read the emoluments clause, he's not supposed to be able to profit as president. Now, the Trump MAGA mind grows will say, oh, his sons are running the business. But last I checked, they were also a part of the damn administration too. They on foreign envoys and foreign trips and making deals on behalf of the United States. So wouldn't that apply to them too? I don't know.
The next thing are the asset sales. So yes, Donald Trump became president. He handed over management, day-to-day responsibility.
Matter of fact, shit, hold up. I got some more shit to say. Hold up, man. We get on the big screen for this shit. So, knowing Donald Trump, like I think we all do at this point, right? He's been president now for the second time. Is there anybody who honestly thinks that Donald Trump would allow his sons to make primary decisions on his businesses and his business interests? Let me know in the comments if you think so. Can we trust that that's what he's doing? Let me know in the comments if you think we can trust that. If you've been watching the remix with Kelly Dre, you know what my answer is to those questions. But I'm interested in hearing from y'all. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is how I look at shit, man. You know what I mean? You got to pay attention to what's out there. You can't be programmed. At least I'm not gonna let you be programmed. If you tap in with me, you're not gonna be programmed, man. You're gonna know what's coming before it comes. You know what I mean? In most cases.
To his kids, but he still owns the properties that he owned before. And many of those properties he's been selling off as he's been president. These are small deals. They don't get a lot of attention. But if you add up all those transactions, and there are more than 100 of them from 2017 through 2019, that's another $118 million that Donald Trump has taken in. And then the final one is what we term other.
I think that Trump the Game is going to be a hit because it's Trump and everything he does seems to turn into gold.
This is kind of a grab bag. So Donald Trump does a lot of crazy stuff in business. So he sells books. He runs a skating rink in Central Park. He runs restaurants in Trump Tower, at his golf club in Doral. He has a carousel in Central Park. He does all these sort of random things. If you lump all that stuff into one last category, that's about $91 million. So then you take your math question, you say, all right, so we've got $1.9 billion. We've split it into all these different segments. Now let's dive into each one of those segments and figure out how much of that money actually turns into profit. You know, Trump's hotels and his golf businesses get a ton of headlines because they're visible. You can walk into them. They're, interesting. They're dynamic, all of that. But if you look at his profits, we're measuring this by earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So if you
right, that's called EBITDA in the financial world, right? And that's actually pretty important. So that's your earnings before taxes, interest, and amortization. So this is a financial metric that's used to evaluate a company's operational performance by excluding certain non-operational expenses. So basically it helps to focus on what your profitability is, and you're focusing on your earnings before like the impact of any financial decisions, right? So that's what EBITDA is, or the earnings before taxes, interest, and amortization. I told y'all we on some deep shit tonight, man. Y'all gonna learn me tonight. You know what I mean? Hopefully y'all learn some shit too.
You look at that and you add it up over 3 years, we're estimating it's about $470 million for the whole portfolio. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So $313 million of that is from the commercial real estate business. That's because it's a really, really profitable business. You don't have that many expenses when you just own a building and you're renting it out. You got to hire a guy, downstairs to check people's IDs. You have to hire some maintenance people to clean up. But that's, about it. There's not all that much stuff that you have to do. If, on the other hand, you look at the golf business, which takes in the most revenues, $570 million, and only turns $85 million is our estimate of those into operating profits, that's a business that takes a ton of work. Same thing with the hotel, low margin business. You've got to clean somebody's sheets every night. You've got to have a restaurant there. You've got to make sure that everything looks perfect at all times. And it's not, people don't necessarily treat hotels like they treat their offices. So your cleaning expenses are going to be more, and that means that your profit margins are going to be less. So
I put that link in the chat as well. Anybody want to come chop it up with your boy? You know what I'm saying? Talk about this politics, man. Feel free.
So if you look at the profitability of the whole enterprise, we've got $313 million for the commercial real estate, $85 million for the golf courses and clubs, $60 million for the hotels, licensing and management, and then about $12 million for everything else. There's a lot still to learn and a lot to look at. I just finished up my book, and so that means that which is called White House Inc., and it's all about Trump's business. You start a book and you think, oh, I'm going to, figure out the full story of Trump's business. You can't figure out the full story. The story never ends. It keeps going. It's an operating business. And
yeah, most definitely. It's fluid. You know what I mean? It's a fluid operating business. And this is the perspective that I want to try to bring to these conversations, right? You have to understand how big his operation is to understand how easily there can be deception within that, right? You got a large, complicated, multinational business structure that has probably hundreds of businesses underneath it. You can do a lot of tricky things, man. A lot of tricky things. One of the things I heard that's being done is the Venezuelan oil that's been captured, and the revenue from the sales of whatever oil they have over there has gone into a private bank account in the Middle East that Donald Trump himself controls, not the American people. Not you and me. And I covered this in a show previously that I did. There's a company called Citco. Y'all can go look this up. Citco was the Venezuelan company that had American relationships. I think it was American Venezuelan. It may have been another country that was involved. But basically, they were, for a long time, one of the main partners with Venezuela to get their oil and sell it. And so Citco, I think that company I believe the relationship soured with Venezuela, and, either Venezuela took it over or, it wasn't operational for a while, one of those two things. But long story short, Donald Trump himself, not even his administration, Donald Trump himself has direct stake in that company, Citco. And so that is one of the main things that they're trying to revive is the financial and operational production of the company Citco. Y'all can go look that shit up, man. But this is the remix with Kelly Drake, man. I'm just on some on some deep political thought tonight, and I'm on some, you know what I'm saying, trying to find strategies for my people to win. But in order for us to win, we got to know what we up against. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm trying to cover tonight, and let y'all know the depths at which, these scams and corruption, the depths that they will be willing to go to try to protect that. This is billions and billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, $1.9 billion in his first administration, illegally pocketed. $1.4 billion in his first 12 months in office this time. But is that what everybody's talking about? Is that what your mainstream media is talking about? Actually, so a couple of the mainstreams are talking about it. I believe CNN is talking about it. Salute to them for helping to break this story, actually. But not a lot of the mainstream media is talking about this. And I think it's pretty important because as we see all these chaos on the streets, and you got to ask yourself why, man. And I've always been of the mindset that it's about the art of the steal. That's what it really, it's the art of the fucking steal. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck the art of the deal. What deals has he made? Ain't no fucking deals been made. Like, we just had a government shutdown for 42 days because they couldn't make a fucking deal. So it ain't no deals being made, bro. It's the art of the steal. And if you look at what Doge got in there and did, when jumped into everybody's social security information, and I'm still waiting on my motherfucking 5 bands. Let me know in the comments, anybody got that 5 bands from Doge? You know what I'm saying? Or the 2 bands that they promised you after that? Or what's the 1776? Did anybody get that 1776 yet? Every time I talk to my right-leaning friends is, oh, yeah, next year, 6 months, 3 months, tomorrow. Trickle down. As I explained on the show tonight, man, I don't want my money to trickle down, man. Open the motherfucking floodgates for my bread. Trickle down economics don't mean shit to me, because the only thing that trickle to me is my Johnson when I take a piss, and my faucet when I turn that motherfucker off. That's the only shit that trickle. When I shake my shit, TMI. But y'all get the fucking point. Like, trickle don't mean shit to me when it comes to money. I want my money to flow. You know what I'm saying? But this is how I be thinking about this shit, right? And that's why I say words matter, and you know, how people describe shit, how people, you know, explain shit, how people spin shit. Words matter. How you say them matters a lot as well. But what else did I want to get into tonight, man? I'm just vibing. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. It's the remix with Cali Dre. I'm on some politics tonight, man. I'm on some political thought. You know what I'm saying? Trying to sharpen the sword. We went through the art of war earlier. You know what I'm saying? If y'all missed that, definitely some deep thought, big picture thinking for the battle. And is this the moment? And if it is the moment, how and when do we decide to seize it? But I got another video I want to tap in with, man. So this one is about the Minnesota shooting situation a little bit, right? And it's a comparison of what happened in that situation and the support that was at 5. The support that was given to the person bearing the weapon in Minnesota versus the support that was given to another famous incident that happened with a young man by the name of Kyle Rittenhouse. And so there's definitely a shift in the support, I guess, for who's holding the gun and who's not holding the gun. Get the likes up, man. It's the remix with Cali Dre. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Subscribe to my shit.
Shooting has renewed a debate over the Second Amendment and concealed.
You know what? Y'all can't even see the video. I'm looking at the motherfucking video. Y'all can't see shit. And that's the whole purpose of this. Cali Dre, you ain't remixing shit. Yeah. Hold up. Let me get this shit up there, man. There we go. We back.
The Minneapolis shooting has renewed a debate over the Second Amendment and concealed carry laws, but this time the political roles are reversed.
The right to bear arms has been a Republican Party big issue for decades. Conservative politicians have strongly defended the Second Amendment by successfully passing gun rights laws such as concealed carry in every state. Minneapolis shooting victim Alex Preddy was legally carrying a firearm, but top Trump administration officials say he did not have a right to do so.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple.
However, you motherfucker. However, there's this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse. And by the way, the chief of Minnesota police said that Mr. Preddy was well within his rights to have his firearm and to carry his firearm.
However, President Trump supported Kyle Rittenhouse after he shot and killed 2 men who tried grabbing his gun during a Kenosha protest following a police-involved shooting. Some January 6 rioters were armed, and many...
Actually, now that I said that, let me double back. I want to double back a little bit, because there's been a lot of different narratives in all these different shootings, right? You look at the video, and the video doesn't quite match what the narrative is from the administration. More so in the Preddy shooting, as well in the Renee Good shooting as well. But I mean, in that situation, I think there's a gray area, and in that gray area, they're probably always going to side with law enforcement. That's just my opinion. But they're, there's a gray area. She was in the car, even though the tires were turned, and it accelerated in the area of law enforcement. So to me, that's a gray area for them to pull their gun out and shoot. Now, what I did zoom in on and focus in on in one of the shows that I did about that incident was the following shots that I think made that situation very much criminal. And I think a court of law is going to have to determine that. But that's just my, that's just my 2 cents on it. You know what I mean? But this narrative right here that you can't bring a gun to a protest is false.
That you want. It's that simple.
However, President Trump supported Kyle Rittenhouse after he shot and killed 2 men who tried grabbing his gun during a Kenosha protest following a police-involved shooting. Some January.
Now think about that. Think about that. Right? Let's think about that. I want to spin that back just a little bit. Let's spin this back.
A firearm loaded.
But top Trump administration officials say he did not have a right to do so.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple.
However, President Trump supported Kyle Rittenhouse after he shot and killed 2 men who tried grabbing his gun during a Kenosha protest following a police-involved shooting.
Yeah. I'm always, you know what, man? I ask the question why a lot because I want to know the answer. I'm truly an analytical minded type of person and a problem solving nature person. And you know what I'm saying? Definitely understanding history and how it relates to today to get things done, man. And so when I look at this and I say, why was there support for Kyle Rittenhouse in his situation and him carrying his firearm? But for a protester who was being pepper sprayed, beaten, and eventually shot, executed, murdered by Trump's ICE agents, they don't support the firearm at a protest. How fucking convenient, right?
Some January 6 rioters were armed, and many Republicans supported this Missouri couple who pointed their firearms at George Floyd protesters.
Oh, shit. I forgot about these motherfuckers. Yeah, grandma and grandpa with the strap on the fucking front lawn. Yeah, I forgot about these motherfuckers. Full support from this administration. Don't see anything wrong with this. George Floyd protesters. Oh, yeah, shoot. Yeah. Brandish your weapon. Who gives a fuck? I see hypocrisy, man. I'm not one of those people that doesn't see color. I see color. You know what I'm saying? I see color very clearly. And I also see, when the fix is in, when the scales is tilted, when shit is just fucked up. And that's where we at right now. You feel me?
This Missouri couple who pointed their firearms at George Floyd protesters.
It's the height of hypocrisy, which continues out of the White House, scrambling to find some reason to show why these agents were justified.
Former Illinois House Republican leader Jim Durkin says the hypocrisy surrounding the Minneapolis case will continue to fracture the Republican Party. And while it took over
hypocrisy, right? That's a word I just used. Man, I didn't even watch this whole video. But hypocrisy. Yeah. It's deep, man. This shit gets deep. As you lay this shit out, man, you can see, again, I can see, hopefully you guys see as well, where they're willing to change course, change strategy, forget whatever they believe in to promote their agenda at the time. Kyle Rittenhouse, crazy grandma and grandpa on the front yard with the straps. Everything's okay. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. But card carrying, permit carrying protester sprayed by Trump's out of control ICE agents, beaten, executed. Well, he shouldn't have had the gun there in the first place. And he had a small gun too. Like Rittenhouse had a yeah, Rittenhouse had one of them long range joints, one of them assault rifle type joints. Yeah, man, hypocrisy, bro.
20 years to pass a restricted concealed carry law in Illinois, residents have a right to carry a loaded firearm to a protest. Minnesota shares the same right.
There you go.
Mr. Preddy was not violating the law in terms of the Second Amendment. He had a constitutionally protected right, and the law in Minnesota did not prohibit him from carrying a firearm down there.
But
there we go. So we have a constitutionally protected right, and we have state law that says Mr. Preddy was well within his rights to carry that firearm at that protest.
Former FBI agent Rob Chadwick, who now works for the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, says the law gets dicey if the armed person inserts themselves in a law enforcement operation. USCCA and a growing number of Republicans are calling for a full investigation into Preddy's death.
When you take that,
we already did the full investigation. I showed 4 or 5 videos in slow-mo, and there was in no point was Mr. Preddy inserting himself in an altercation. The altercation came to him. He was attacked. He was sprayed. He was beaten. And he was shot. In that order. Pushed, sprayed, beaten, shot. He didn't initiate none of that shit. And if there's video out there that shows that he did, put it in my box and I'll run that shit. But I've been saying that for a couple of days now and nothing's popped up in my inbox. So I guess it don't exist, man. I don't know.
That step and get involved physically in a law enforcement action, it is incredibly dangerous and unintended consequences do happen.
Meantime, White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt says today that President Trump absolutely supports the Second Amendment for law-abiding Americans, but not for people who impede immigration enforcement operations.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Preddy was not impeding on any law enforcement action. If there's any evidence out there that shows that he was, run it. Send it to me. Because I didn't see that. When I broke down the videos and when I slow-moed the videos, what I saw was ICE agents pushing him, spraying him, beating him, shooting him, killing him, executing him in broad daylight. So, again, narrative spin, man, but the truth stands still. And, you know, I'm about that truth, man. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to things that matter. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to things that have an effect on myself, my community, my people. You know, that's what it is, man. What else did I want to show y'all, man? I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. This is the remix with Kelly Dre. I'm just on some politics shit. You know what I'm saying? We just talking truth to power. We trying to sharpen the sword, put the strategies together to win. You know what I'm saying? Not just be talking no fake activist shit. But you gotta know what you fighting in order to be able to win the war, man. And so that's what I'm trying to illustrate, what we up against. And it's billions and billions of dollars in corruption and power. And we got an uphill battle, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. But the thing about life that I think is very interesting is that sometimes you just got to stand back and let God work too. And I think that's what these ICE incidents are showing, which is you can't just go and try to attack people and think nothing's going to happen, regardless of who the people is. shit get out of control, man. Real life is real life. That's it. You know what I mean? This the shit you didn't plan for, and that you gotta go in at halftime and make them adjustments. And we'll see if they go in and make the halftime adjustments. You feel me? But I don't know. I don't know, man. I got 1 or 2 more videos, man. I'm gonna rock with y'all. I appreciate y'all for you know what I mean, watching the show. I appreciate y'all for running the videos and the comments up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely you know, try to keep bringing y'all this good content tonight, man. I'm not even on no news stories or none of that, man. I just want to chop it up with the people, man. Want to let people know why I stand where I stand and why I do what I do, and you know, get them prepared for this fight we about to be in, man. But let's look at this. You know what I mean? Let's look at this. What else did I want to show? Actually, I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. This was kind of funny, man. This is actually was kind of funny. I'm gonna show y'all one news story because this shit right here was kind of funny, man. Where is this at? Here you go. So listen, I talk all this politics shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking all this politics shit probably since I started the show, all day today. But you gotta be smart out here too, man. You gotta be fucking smart out here, bro. And sometimes that's our downfall, man. Police recognize a woman as she complains at City Hall. Police recognize a wanted woman as she complains at City Hall. Let's check in with this, man, and see what this looks like. Don't get your ass in trouble out there trying to protest and try to blame me and shit because you lost your job. Nah, bro. Be smart.
Meeting ends with an arrest in the hallway when a police officer noticed a complaining citizen is wanted.
Only Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes talked with a police officer who arrested the woman in this unusual case.
It was at a Berkeley City Hall meeting this month when a woman who's wanted on domestic assault and armed criminal action charges showed up here to complain to the city council. You can see the moment officers realize.
Are you kidding me? Is my
Are you
reaction,
fucking
because we were
kidding
trying
me?
to get her to come talk to us. So she
Are
just
you
refused.
fucking
Berkeley-
kidding? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? This lady is wanted by the police, and she show up to protest about some panty anti bullshit. You can't make this shit up, man.
Police Major Steve Runge recognized the wanted woman when she spoke at the January 12th City Council meeting.
And then not only that, complained about the police. And I'm like, lady, you're wanted by the police.
The city's recording is out of focus, but you can.
Lady, you're complaining about the damn police, and you wanted by the damn police. That wasn't the smartest shit to do, bro. When you woke up this morning, and you got out your bed, and you thought, they ain't gonna trip off this motherfucking warrant. They ain't tripping. They ain't tripping. I'm gonna go and give them a piece of my mind about how they not enforcing shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, what the fuck y'all be thinking out there, bro? Like, this is another reason I started this show. Like, stop doing all this dumbass shit. I just want to say that to the people, man, directly. Stop doing all this dumbass shit. Stop ending up on the show. I don't mind. I give me some shit to talk about, but damn it, it just lets me know where we at in this country, man. And this is the type of shit I'm talking. Man, matter of fact, man, I'm finna get back to this political, you know what I'm saying, actual factual. This is the type of shit that I'm talking about, people. Like, your intelligence level has to be at a fucking 0 to be wanted by the police and then decide that you're gonna take your ass down to City Hall to a damn City Hall town meeting and complain about the damn police. This is why we are where we are, people. When I talk about education, when I talk about making good decisions, this is why. This right here. Look. This is why. Caught in plain fucking sight. That's the caption on the bottom. And it's Fox News, too. It makes it all the more bullshit. Caught in plain fucking sight, bro. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better.
Still see Major Runge on the right texting other officers she's there, and two officers in the back get up to be ready.
My concern. Look, I know how that text went. I'm gonna tell y'all how that text went. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how that fucking text went, bro. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how that text went. Officer looked at her. He started looking around and shit. And they wiped his eyes and shit. And he started wiping his eyes and shit. Is that her? No, I know. I fucking know. This is not her. He started texting the homies and shit. You ain't gonna believe this shit. Code 4. This is what they call a code 4. You know what I mean? Code fucking 4. Got her. Dumbass.
Was to take her into custody without an issue, without any drama.
Which they did in the hallway outside. A St. Louis County probable cause statement says Jamesia Moore stabbed her boyfriend in October 2025 and then was captured on video, reportedly saying, quote, "You're lucky I did not stab you in the bleeping chest."
Oh, so she is salve. Okay. So she is a salve with it. Oh, let's go back to that statement that she allegedly dropped out there, according to the St. Louis County prosecutor. Yo, you're lucky I didn't stab you in the bleeping chest. Damn. She is savage. Anybody out there getting busy with that knife work? Let me know in the comments if you ever been stabbed or if you've ever stabbed somebody allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But you a savage working with that knife, man.
When you stab somebody, that's about as serious as it gets.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Man. Look, I don't even be watching this shit. Y'all might think I be knowing what they go. I don't even be knowing what they go, but I just know. Like you gonna run up and shank somebody. Yeah, you gotta have a personal problem with that motherfucker, or you just got personal problems on your own, because you know that's wanting to inflict pain and wanting to see a level of pain on somebody that you know most people ain't harboring that in their heart, man.
To the Berkeley Police Department, who were really on top of their game, very aware.
St. Louis County prosecutor Melissa Price Smith says she's never seen anything quite like this.
She had refused to go to the police department to speak with them. It's actually quite surprising, though, that she then appeared at the Berkeley City Council meeting 2 months later on a completely different matter.
You can run, but you can't hide.
We also called the defendant's attorney for a comment.
They patting themselves on the back and shit. Like they didn't just made the collar. Like they did all the work. Nah, she walked her dumb ass in there, bro. And you know what? They're still gonna get credit for the stats.
Comment and have not heard back. For the Fox Files, I'm Chris Hayes.
Yeah, man. A bunch of goofy shit that be going on in the world, bro. And this is why I don't know, man. This is why I thought if I created this channel, I could help minimize some of this goofy ass shit that's going on in the world. Now that I'm looking at it, I may not want to. Hell, my show dies if the goofy shit goes away. So shit, keep doing the goofy shit. Fuck it, but just do less of it. Let's make some progress. Let's just point the arrow downward a little bit. Like the shit's going up, and it's going up at an alarming exponential rate, bro. And that's my problem with this whole shit, man. You know, what else did I want to chop it up about, man? Obama said some shit today. Let me see what Obama talking about, man. The greatest president that we ever had. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I don't give a fuck. MAGA Mongrels, TikTok MAGA Mongrels. I said it. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all gonna hear it. I said it, and I'm gonna stand on it. Let's go, man.
And as for the president, he has been focused on critical issues like paving over the Rose Garden so folks don't get mud on their shoes, and gold plating the Oval Office and building a $300 million ballroom. So Virginia, here's the good news. If you can't visit a doctor, don't worry. He will save you a dance. And if you don't get an invitation to the next White House shindig, you can always watch the festivities and all the beautiful people on Truth Social. The point is, there is absolutely no evidence Republican policies have made life better for you, the people.
Come on, man. Come on, Barrio. Come on. God, bruh. Listen, bruh. The views of that man over there on the screen is the views of your boy on this topic, right? And this is the question that I've been asking this whole time. Has life gotten better for you, especially black people? Have life gotten better for you, especially black Trump supporters? Has life gotten better for you? Black independents, black liberals, black people. I'd say no.
Virginia. I mean, they've devoted enormous energy to trying to entrench themselves in power and punishing their enemies and enriching their friends and silencing their critics. They put on a big show of deporting people and targeting transgender folks. They never miss a chance to scapegoat minorities and DEI for every problem under the sun. You got a flat tire? DEI. Huh. Wife mad at you? DEI.
DEI.
What they have not devoted energy to is helping you.
Yeah.
They have not.
Yeah. Let's stop it right there. If you disagree, hit me in that comment. But I 100% agree with that because I can see the agenda. And the agenda is, did you get any of that oil money from Argentina? Are you ever going to ride on that plane? Are you ever going to dance in that ballroom? But yet, in Philadelphia, they're removing historical slavery memorabilia, statues, signage in broad daylight. Chasing around immigrants and just doing a bunch of weird ass, goofy ass shit that I'll probably cover in some of these upcoming shows that I'm gonna do. Is that helping you? Has your money gone up? Has your wages gone up? Anybody got that 5 bands from Doge? Anybody got that other 2 bands they was talking about? 1776. I'll take 1776 right now. Shit, I'm low. Hit that cash app. Fall in love with that motherfucker. But that's the questions that I'm asking, man. You know, that's the questions I'm always asking because that's what's important. You know what I mean? That's what's important, man. Not all this rah-rah, fake macho, fake tough guy shit.
Put forward serious proposals to lower housing costs or make groceries more affordable. They haven't improved our schools. They haven't made healthcare more accessible. They haven't shortened your commute or prepared young people for the future where AI might take their job. And all the nonsense we see on the news every day.
I'm gonna stop it right there because that is critically important. What Barrio just said right there, man. That's critically important. I'm gonna run it back.
And all the nonsense we see on the news every day, the over-the-top rhetoric, the fabricated, and all the nonsense we see, healthcare more accessible. They haven't shortened your commute or prepared young people for the future where AI might take their job.
Right there. I'm gonna go back to the big screen for this, right? I'm gonna go back to the big screen. AI is coming for all you motherfuckers, bro. AI, at a certain point, when it becomes super AI, is going to tear shit up. Everything, every industry, every job, everywhere. That's what they're shooting for in the short term. And that's why you see people like Elon Musk so buddy with Donald Trump, because ultimately he's trying to land a bunch of deals that favor him and his company and his interests. He's got some legal problems over there in some of the businesses that he has with the United States. And also, in my opinion, to advance this AI and robotics. Technology at a faster pace without any regulations. And so I'm actually going to dedicate some time and some upcoming shows. It's something I've been wanting to do. I didn't know when the right time to do it was, but shit. Ain't no better time than the present, man. So I'm gonna knock that out, man. I'm gonna get that to y'all. I'm gonna definitely do a deep dive on how this is gonna affect this, man.
And all the nonsense we see on the news every day, the over-the-top rhetoric, the fabricated conspiracies, the weird videos of a U.S. president with a crown on his head flying a fighter jet and dumping poop on protesting citizens.
Yeah, that's a fact. American president with a crown on his head. That's anti-American. America was started by fleeing a kingdom and, coming over here, snatching and raping and pillaging and taking all this shit, but laying down the foundation and saying that the people will govern themselves through democracy and everybody has a stake in where the direction of the country goes. And that stake got greater and greater for, non-white people as the years went on. And so that's why your vote matters, man, because again, I'm not a big fan of sitting out just for the purpose of sitting out, sitting on the sideline just for the purpose of sitting on the sideline. If it's a strategic move that leads to a successful outcome, then I'm all for it. But just sitting on the sideline and putting your hands up in the air and just complaining is not a strategy that I support by and large, because I think that action in the right moment leads to success, right? The right action in the right moment leads to success. And so you got to know when the right moment is, and you got to take the right action. And a lot of that just is about knowing who you are, what you can do, your capacity, your capability, and knowing what the opposition's capability is and who they are and what they up to. And if you can master that, you can win any battle, man. But I think, we struggle with unity, man, as a Black community, and we struggle with tribalism, and we struggle with, a lot of different issues, man, that lead us in the place that we are, where unity is hard for us, right? I look at other cultures and I look at their traditions and how they can easily access their home countries. But for many African Americans in this country, they probably don't even know what tribe, what country in Africa that they belong to. You know what I mean? And so, and it's 9,000 miles away, right? So that makes it more difficult to identify with those roots and those ancestry. And so we've created our own cultures over here. We've created our own, our own values and our own, way of life. And each generation we get further and further away from that history. Hell, I feel like each generation we getting further and further away from the civil rights movement. You ask a lot of these young people today, man, they couldn't tell you one way or the other who, some of the key players in the civil rights movement are that aren't named Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. You know what I mean? They couldn't tell you about Muhammad Ali's struggle. They couldn't tell you about, Marcus Garvey's and the SNCC and John Lewis and James Clyburn and just different people, man, that have helped and assisted the struggle along the way. Lena Horne. You know what I mean? People don't know. Lena Horne did a lot to advance the rights and entertainment for people of color. And in her days, she had it going on. And so she definitely used what she had to help advance the cause and the movement, man. And I always respect her for that, because she doesn't get a lot of love and attention for that. But a lot of people, man, and so I'm very much familiar with that history. You know what I mean? Like when I was young, man, my mom used to take me out of school to go, watch Malcolm X and watch different like powerful movies. We break them down at the house, or, you know what I mean? Like, go through Roots and really explain what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? And, really, look at this politics and see how it affects. You know what I mean? And that's just how I grew up, man. My mom used to always tell me, if you mix street smarts with book smarts, you'd be untouchable out here. And I always believe that. And that's what I always tried to do. And, this for me is just another step in that evolution. But, we got to be smart out here, man. We got to make the right decisions. We got to listen to the right leaders. And we got to be willing to take action when action is necessary. And that's the other part of the title of this show. Should Black people get involved? You know what I mean? Y'all let me know.
All of that is designed to distract you from the fact that your situation has not gotten better.
Nope.
They do it so you won't notice that while they're helping the wealthiest, most powerful people in the country consolidate more wealth and more power.
They know Barry O was cooking, man. Y'all done fucked up. Listen, this the remix with Kelly Dre. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm just vibing out, man, on some politics shit, on some deep thinking shit. Try to help my people get to where they're going, man. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think there's a longer video on that, man. Check out what Barry O was talking about. He's kicking that real spiel. You know what I mean? He was kicking that real spiel. What else I wanted to show y'all, man? I think I got like one more thing I wanted to show y'all, man. Gavin Newsom was talking, man. I thought what he had to say was very interesting, man. So I want to tap in with a little bit of this. It's the remix with Kelly Dre, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, don't give me. Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house?
Wow.
This is serious, guys.
Wow. That's damn. I never even thought about it like that. I need to look again. This is a video. I watched the first couple of seconds and I knew he was going to say some impactful shit. That's why I put it up here. But that was pretty impactful, bro. I want to listen to that again.
Ballroom at their home and then leaves.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, don't give me. Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves?
You don't spend $200 million on a ballroom in your home and then leave. There's a deeper plan, man. And I saw a report a while back where the Republican Congress was floating the idea of having Trump run for a third term, which is against the U.S. Constitution. I think there's only been one or two presidents that got third terms way back in the day. And after that last president did it, they amended it to where it's only 2 terms because, again, the founders at some level understood that if this experiment is truly going to work, you have to have fresh leadership. You have to have, fresh ideas. The country has to, progress in its own direction. It has to be organic. You know what I mean? And so you can't have that freshness and that newness and that change if one guy's at the head of the whole shit for longer than he's supposed to be. And so y'all keep your eyes out and open for that. I mean, it sounds, again, a lot of these thoughts may sound far away, pie in the sky, when people tell you, oh, the democracy is at stake. Like, what does that even mean, right? What does that even mean to people? We have to save the democracy. We got to save the country. People are rocking with backwards hats on, with not backwards hats, upside down flags on their hats to symbolize a protest, right? And so, what does all that mean? You know what I mean? What does all that mean? And so that's some of the things I want to break down on this platform. You know what I'm saying? Why is it important? What is it? What does it mean to me? How is it important to you? You know what I'm saying? Those are all things that I hope to accomplish when this is all said and done. You know what I mean? But, each day I'm going to just try to keep bringing y'all good information. Sometimes we're going to have fun. We're going to kick the shit. Sometimes I might have a guest or some shit. Sometimes we might be talking about news stories. I don't know. But right now, I'm on this politics shit. And after tonight, I really wanted to try to make a few things clear as far as what I see when I jump on these panels and I say the things that I say. And so now you can get a bar to
the House. This is serious, guys. This is serious.
So it'll be Newsom Trump in 28.
No, this guy doesn't believe in free, fair elections. He tried to wreck this country. Were you there January 6th? I think Fox was. At least they were in a lawsuit. They seem to have lost any memory of that. Shareholders didn't. I mean, he tried to light democracy on fire. He dialed for 11, almost 12,000 votes. Now he's doing it in plain sight. And people say, oh, just Trump being Trump.
Yeah.
People actually think.
Listen. And again, I'm going to go back to the big screen for this. This is the reason I take the stances that I take. This is the reason I feel like speaking truth to power is a very important thing. And whatever the injustice is, whatever side it is, right? I tell people all the time, if Donald Trump was talking the same shit that Kamala or Joe Biden was talking, I'd be voting for Donald Trump. It's not about who that person is necessarily, minus the Epstein shit. Like they got to get that shit figured out. But other than that, and the racist shit too, like I can't deal with that. But other than those two things, if they were talking the same shit, ideally, I'd probably vote for that dude just because his agenda is aligned with what I'm trying to get accomplished out here, and giving me opportunities to get to where I'm trying to go, the next level, and my people where they're trying to go the next level, right? And we have been conditioned, and this is one of the problems that I have, right? People have been conditioned to think that, just because you get something from the government that's free, it's a handout or it's some kind of bad thing. Listen, we all citizens, we deal with what's going on in this country, the ups, the downs. We deal with the financial collapses and the global pandemics and the bad leadership and the failed promises. You got to know your value out here, bro. It ain't no amount of money that the government owed me money reparationally. I need my reparations at the end of the day. So it ain't no handout type shit. Nah, this is what I deserve. This is what I earn. This is what I expect. So always be wary of those kind of conversations, man, because again, Andrew Yang's campaign taught me that every American should be getting about 2 bands a month. This country has enough money to do that. It's less than 1% of the GDP. And this country could do it very easily. But we're paying ICE agents $200,000 a year and doing a bunch of other goofy ass shit with the money. Yeah, man. That's how this shit go. Unless you stop it. You know what I mean? The power is up to you, man. The power is with the people, man. That's what I'm saying. And that's again what inspired me to do this show tonight. It's just like this moment, to me, looks like a moment where we could make boss moves, build relationships, have an angry mob behind us, and try to get some change and get to the next level. But you know, I could be wrong, man.
Think this guy's serious about having another election? You think he's joking about 2028? You think when he brings foreign leaders to the Oval Office and he goes to the White House store, have you seen this? Anyone? Is it just me? And he shows them the 2028 hats? He's not being serious? Wake up. You will lose your country. Again, it's not about Democrats.
Yeah. Hold on. I want to stop it right there. He just said the operative words, right? You will lose your country. What does that even mean, right? Is this my country? A lot of black people ask that question, and I get it. I get where it all come from. Trust me. Like, don't get it fucked up. Like, I understand the struggle more than you know. You know what I mean? But I just think sometimes, man, I feel like this, honestly, in my heart, right? We can get back to, you know, the battles of the inner cultural battles that we've been having for, you know, however many generations, right? I think now is the moment where the entire country is at stake, and the entire direction and way of life that we appreciate, and the little bit of opportunity that we do have, that shit's in danger, bro. Severely. And so, I mean, for God's sakes, in 2025, there was a billionaire in the White House throwing up a Nazi symbol on inauguration, beamed out to the world. And that reminds me of Stand Back and Stand By to the Proud Boys, or there's very fine people on both sides in Charlottesville. I know this shit. Like, y'all look at the hat and y'all look at this black skin and y'all might not think I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But trust me, I does. And if you rock with the remix of Kelly Dre, you will too. Because this is all the shit I'm about to break out to y'all, man. But yeah, we're gonna tap in with this a little more, man. I'm gonna let y'all get out of here and see what
It's about all of us.
So you're absolutely convinced he's
I'm absolutely
2028.
You've seen it. He's tried to steal the last election. He's trying to rig it in plain sight this time. He wants to get rid of vote by mail. He's talking about eliminating voting machines he doesn't like. He's setting up the contours where he can declare a declaration of emergency for anything. Just cause means whatever he just said on Truth Social. He's running the greatest grift operation in world history. I mean, it makes some of these dictators overseas blush, the crypto, not just the perfume. I mean, come on.
Let me ask you about a couple of your...
Wake up, everybody. Wake up.
Let me ask you about
Excuse me, and I know it's impolite. We have to be more calm and demure.
Couple of your own...
But I'm not calm, and I'm not going to submit myself to niceties. Not when this guy's trying to wreck our goddamn country.
So that's why I fuck with Gavin Newsom, bro. That right there is why I fuck with Gavin Newsom. I may not agree with everything he's done in California. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's some things that my people don't agree with, my cousin for sure. But I think he sees the bigger picture, and I see the bigger picture, which is in this moment, again, I'm looking for people that's speaking truth to power, that's standing up for the bullshit, and is not laying down and bending over. Because I refuse to. Straight up. And you can take that however you want to. And know that I'm saying that with all motherfucking seriousness. My grandmother ain't gonna roll over in her grave on my watch. And that's a fact. And so that's why I'm doing this, man. I'm trying to go this route with it and maximize this route. Because I don't even want to see the other route. And, you know, the opposite for sure don't want to see the other route. Not with a motherfucker like me. So, you know, I'm just trying to get people to open their minds, man, to where we really at. I see shit in reality, bro. I don't live in pie in the sky land. It is what it is. The apple's a fucking apple. An orange is a fucking orange. Because the more time you spend on the bullshit, the less time you got for the real shit. That's just how I look at life, man. Energy is and time is some shit you can't get back. And I'm not gonna waste either of them on a bunch of bullshit. But that's Gavin Newsom right there, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. This is the remix with Kelly Dre, man. Get the likes up, subscribe to the channels. I'm everywhere. You know what I mean? And if I ain't everywhere, if it's somewhere you want me to be, holla at me. And I'll be right over there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. I've been talking all goddamn night, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. I'm about to get out of here and pass the fuck out. But I appreciate y'all for rocking, man. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of this and let y'all know I can kick this shit all day and all night. You know what I mean? But, you know, is anybody listening? Is there people that are leaning in the other side that want to come up here and challenge what I'm saying? I welcome it. Hell, that's why I got up this morning, hoping to piss off some of you TikTok MAGA mongrels. You know what I mean? We go chop it up, y'all know. Cause I ain't scared of you motherfuckers, bro. On my Bernie Mac shit. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand how deep this shit is with me. So this the remix with Kelly Dre, man. I hope y'all learned something tonight. You know what I'm saying? Keep tapping in, keep tuning in. And shit, hopefully we can solve some of these motherfucking problems, man. You know what I mean? But I'm finna get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all.
Money on my mind, got my money in my mind. Money on my mind, got no time for that limelight. I'm from California, man, I guess we'll start with that. Bangdale starter caps, glued to the cul-de-sac, looking like an artifact, trying to get their money back. Yellow jackets coming, mama about to have a heart attack. Southeast San Diego, we was at the heart of that. You moved about the hood, my nigga, you ain't want no part of that. Move to work and let the money drip the laundry mat. I pray to God the homie get his little daughter back. So many problems and it's not even a part of rap. So many suckers and they hating and they copycat. And life is bigger than these bitches that you hollered at. And if you bleed it out, I better get $3 back. And all I'm giving is the facts. Pay attention to the stats and never making mention of the jacks. Gotta keep the money stacked, work your way through the tracks. Money motivated to the max. Money on my mind, got my money in my mind. Money on my mind, got my money.